From the campus of Kingsway High School in Woolwich Township, New Jersey, the GCEN presents high school football. Tonight, the Kingsway Dragons host the Cherokee Chiefs. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner, Fred Swartz. A beautiful evening for football. Upper 70s tonight. It feels like summer, but it's definitely fall. Football is here. Cherokee visiting Kingsway, two big schools really not familiar with one another. Kingsway comes into the game 0-2. Cherokee, on the other hand, 1-1 off a tough loss against an outstanding Timber Creek team. Let's first talk about the visiting Cherokee Chiefs. This is a program that is consistently amongst the top in South Jersey. This year should be no different.
No different at all. Matter of fact, they've been in the playoffs 27 times. They've won the sectional title 15 times. 10 times. They've been in the final 15 times. They are just a great football team, great tradition, and always good coaching.
One of the keys to this Cherokee team is they are just so deep. One area that they have a tremendous amount of strength is a critical position. Of course, that's the quarterback position. Jack Walters is a gamer, a guy who really leads by example, and P.J. Megan really likes what he sees in his young quarterback.
He said he's very familiar. He reminds him a lot of Tim Tebow. He can run the ball, he can throw the ball, and he's tough. And those are the three ingredients you need to play quarterback.
Kingsway now a big Group 5 school. We remember way back when Kingsway just a Group 2 school. Well, they've expanded in size, and their competition has expanded as well. They start off the season 0-2 off of losses against Williamstown and Millville. They're going to have their hands filled today. Once again, they're going to need to run the football.
They're going to have to run the football. Their job would be to take off as much time of the clock as they can to keep the Cherokee offense from scoring points.
One of the keys to a good running program, of course, is being able to move the football through the air as well. Joel Skirbo is a quarterback that Mark Hendricks says is one of the best he's ever coached. Again, at the quarterback position, a key to today's game.
Yeah, I had the privilege of coaching with his father at Deptford, and he's just like his dad. He's a competitor. He thinks he'll take everything on his shoulders. He'll do whatever it takes to win the game, and I think he'd snap the ball to himself and throw the ball to himself if he could.
I think on paper, Cherokee a precipitous favorite in this game. I think it's going to be critical for Kingsway to score first. We'll see if they do that in just a moment. Welcome back to Kingsway High School. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Kingsway hosting Cherokee here on the GCEN. 75 degrees, clear skies, just an absolutely beautiful night for football. A nice subtle breeze. We'll see whether or not the heat plays a factor as we go through the evening. Cherokee will be kicking off, and Kingsway in your traditional red and black back to receive. You see Cherokee's kicker, Ethan McCarron, who has done a nice job thus far for Cherokee, all set to start things here in Woolwich Township. Kingsway trying to get off the snide. They have started 0-2 last year, started the season with 5 consecutive losses. Of course, we mentioned Cherokee coming off a tough loss to Timber Creek. And we're underway here in Woolwich. Ball taken at the 10-yard line, and Kingsway will set up for the return. Spinning off one tackle and finally being slung down at about the 30-yard line is Alex Odom. First down and 10 Dragons.
Well, I think one of the keys that you mentioned before the game, Kingsway has to establish a running game. The big key for success today will be keeping the ball away from Cherokee and its brand new spread offense. Been spoiled for years and years and years. Cherokee always ran the eye and powered up and down the field. This year, for use of personnel, they've gone to the spread, and I think Kingsway wants to keep the ball away from them as much as they possibly can.
Interesting coaching matchup today. Mark Hendricks, just in his second year at Kingsway, 4-6 last season, knows P.J. Megan from his time at Lenape. We'll talk about P.J. in just a second. Handoff right up the gut, and not a whole lot there, maybe a yard or two And again, line play also going to be critical today, Fred.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the strength, the concern that Kingsway coaches had coming into the game was how their kids could do up front, and especially the fact that most of the up front linemen are also playing defense, where Cherokee basically is a one platoon football team.
We mentioned P.J. Megan, one of the longest tenured coaches, 128 and 38 for the Chiefs.
And we got to see right there, number 6, Kevin Zahner is the go-to guy for Kingsway that has 19 completed passes that he's caught already this season from Skirbo, and it's a nice first down for Kingsway right off the bat. It's a quick play that you can't get a pass rush to, that's for sure.
Third down, actually, just shy, 1 yard shy of the first down, and we mentioned how important running the football and line play is going to be. You're going to see that on display right here. Full house backfield for the Dragons. Skirbo will hand off, a good push from the offensive line, and it looks like he'll have more than enough for the first down.
Well, it looks like I was just a play ahead of myself in time. Kingsway went away from its spread offense that time, ran a little power eye, led that lead back up through the hole, and first down for the Dragons. Yeah, Mark Hendricks I really enjoyed. He was probably the best kid I've ever coached in my life at Deptford, so it's nice to see him be successful here.
Trips left for Skirbo. And he'll hand off, and again it's Brown. Gain of 3.
Tamarco Brown, that's a good first look at him coming off the field right now. Tamarco's been the leading ground gainer for the Kingsway Dragons this young season. I'll have to do a lot of today and keep him fresh because he plays defense also.
4 receivers set for Skirbo. Skirbo again will hand off and dropped in the backfield. First carry here for Kingsway's number 25. Amer Hobson.
Great job defensively there by number 53, Andrew Cardinale. Cardinale, one of the few Cherokee Chiefs who sometimes will play both ways. He will play some defense at DT.
Well, we're likely to see Skirbo go to the air here. Trips left for the Dragons. Skirbo working again out of the shotgun. He'll roll to his left. Sets, throws, has a man, and it's complete. Hooks up with Andre Butler, first down, Dragons.
And it was interesting, we were able to get here early in the day when they were doing practice, and they were running that option to the outside to A.J. Butler right there, and that play's brought back early in the game. You see again, Skirbo rolling left, throwing against his body, and A.J. Butler right there with just a nice catch. He was drilled very, very quickly by number 13 from Cherokee, but it's a first down.
Skirbo 2 for 2 thus far. Skirbo again looks for the quick outlet, finds his man, and a big pickup here as Skirbo has been successful as he finds Kevin Zahner. And again, Kingsway successfully moving that football.
And we'll see it again. It's just a quick, he hitched for the receiver to get open, and then Zahner gets the ball, gets up the field, and good yardage. One of the things Mark Hendricks told us before the game is Kingsway needed to get a good start, to get some positive things to happen, because positive happenings make for positive events, and that could be what's taking place on this drive.
Skirbo again keeps, throws, dumps it, and just sails over his intended receiver. His first incomplete of the night. Skirbo 3 for 4 after that play, and we'll have a makeable third down and 5 here for the Dragons.
Yeah, that was a little out of the spread. There was a little option pass that was done by Skirbo. He can roll. If the defensive end drops with the back coming out of the backfield, then the quarterback runs. If the defensive end stays, then you try to drop it off to that swing halfback.
8:15 left, first quarter, scoreless here. Your Atlantic City Electric game of the week. Skirbo looks to Hendricks and the sideline. It looks like they're going to audible here. Dragons. Skirbo, pass, overthrows his intended receiver. It looked like it was Zahner, and it was actually Zahner, as I mentioned. So this will go over to fourth down here, and Kingsway likely to punt and pin Cherokee deep in their own end.
Well, I think that's the plan, but one of the Achilles' heels, I guess we could say, on this one, on Kingsway, has been their punting game so far this season. Has not been very strong, and it looks like they're trying to make a decision here. They may actually go for it here on 4th down.
Well, it looks like they're going to have to hustle in order to get this play off in time. So you are correct. So this is a vote of confidence for Skirbo and the offense. Trips left for Kingsway here, and they did not get this playoff in time.
Kingsway signals for a timeout.
In fact, they recognized it was going to be tight, so Hendricks and the Dragons will burn their first timeout.
Yeah, we've talked about that many a time, that in college football there are play clocks that start at 40 seconds to go down, or 25 seconds after a dead ball situation has taken place. In high school football, it's 25 seconds, but it's signaled by the back judge. So sometimes it's 25 seconds, sometimes it's 28 seconds, and you never really know. But that was good thinking there by the Kingsway staff to get that timeout. We'll see if it changes their play call and whether they decide to punt the ball. There
you see head coach Mark Hendrick. You know, P.J. Megan and Hendrick know each other well. Hendrick used to coach at Lenape, a sister school of Cherokee. P.J. Megan talked about just the respect that he had for Mark Hendrick, said that the one thing he can be certain of is that he's going to face a very strong defensive team, and taking care of the football is going to be critical. Last week, of course, the Chiefs turned the ball over 5 times, and that led to that disappointing loss to South Jersey's top team. 4th down now. Skirbo out of the shotgun with time. Now flushed out of the pocket. He's trying to elude tacklers. He throws it, and that falls simply incomplete. They do not throw a flag, so no intentional grounding, but it goes over on downs, and Skirbo, who started 3 for 3, has seen his last 3 fall incomplete. Were you surprised that Hendricks went for it on 4th down?
Well, I think that the normal thing to do in that situation is punt the ball and punt the ball deep. But he told me earlier today that they've been having a lot of trouble with their kicking game. So I don't think he was thinking they were going to gain a lot by doing that. But it does give Cherokee good field position to start, a short field.
So Jack Walters will start this Cherokee offense. It's a potent one. Walters will pitch, and a big stop. Big hit laid out by Kingsway's number 59. And again, that's Magruder.
And boy, big surprise right off the bat. Cherokee came out in a I formation. The offense that they won, now they're going to go right back into the spread.
Walter throws the little screen pass, and pickup of about 5.
Yeah, real nice job staying at home by number 12 of Kingsway, that being quarterback Joel Skirbo playing defense. You can see how he breaks on the football and just goes down low to make that tackle right at the ankle.
So 3rd down now and 10. And Walter talking things over with DeMonch. Trips left. Walter, quick drop, inside screen, and stopped at about the 45-yard line. So boy, Kingsway able to hold.
And kudos to Nick Devine, who just read that screen very, very well, got outside and made a sure tackle. Now watch this. Oh, what a mistake by Kingsway. Cherokee went up to run a fast offense to hope that Kingsway would make a mistake. They jumped off sides. 1st down Cherokee.
And Fanon Harmon jumps off sides, and you can see that's exactly what Cherokee's trying to do. They were not going to run a play there. That's a simple try to draw them off and get a free 1st down, exactly what they did. That's going to be tough for this Kingsway defense to bounce back from, but they do that. And DeMonch with a gain of 1.
Our first look at DeMonch, a sophomore. Most of the skill position people for Cherokee beside the quarterback are sophomores.
2nd down. Walters overthrows his intended man, and
that was intended there for Tymir Bennett, and he's lucky to get that ball back. He threw it very, very high over the receiver's head, and it could have easily been intercepted.
Walter 2 for 3 right now through the air, and he'll look to go to the air once again. Ball spotted at midfield, 3rd down and 10, trips left for the Chiefs. Walter again throws that inside screen. They have the play set up, and they will fall forward for a gain of 6 yards as he finds his brother Walters. Walters to Walters. We'll have that law firm all night.
Yeah, sounds good. It's sophomore to the sophomore Walters is the receiver. The senior Walters is the quarterback. I guess they figured that Kingsway's not going to bite this time, so out comes the punting team. And our first look at Tyler Ludwikowski, the punter for Cherokee.
The quarterback, Joel Skirbo, back to receive the punt of Ludwikowski. Snap is good. And it's a good kick that Skirbo bluffs the return, and it will roll into the end zone. That's a touchback. 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Dragons. So no scoring on each of the first drives. There's PJ Megan. We've mentioned that this is a program that PJ has captained for quite a long time. 1-1 this year. Last season 6-4. But again, this is a Cherokee program that everybody anticipates to be at or near the top each and every season.
Absolutely, and he was a graduate of Cherokee High School. Went down and played linebacker for Rowan University when Casey Keeler was the coach. Jake, of course, he was the defensive coordinator back at that time, and he's just a quality individual.
Kingsway has mixed it up relatively well, and they will hand it off, bouncing off tackles, but really nowhere to go was Brown.
Yeah, tried the middle on that first part of the read option where your first read is if there's any opening down inside. That's what Skirbo is. You're watching here. They run some motion against it. Here comes Brown straight ahead. Boy, he is really met head on. Just a super tackle there made by number 1 in our program for Cherokee.
Well, we mentioned before that Kingsway is going to need to run the football. They've run the ball 5 times for a total of 4 yards. That's going to have to improve if Kingsway wants to be successful tonight. Again, Skirbo back to pass and overthrows his intended receiver. So as we mentioned, Skirbo started hot 3 for 3, but he's 0 for his last 4.
Yeah, I think, and you have come in probably with some scripted offensive plays which you practice all during the week, and now the other team makes adjustments to it. You have to make your own adjustments. So I think they're feeling out exactly what they're doing. Watch Skirbo takes a step back. Let's see if the ball is actually tipped. And it might have been, because it looks like the ball's changed a few directions right there. So that's 100% correct. That was a tipped ball.
Skirbo. He'll keep, and he throws to his intended receiver, and that's going to be a legal man because they were blocking this. That was a quarterback draw set up, and Skirbo, you talk about being a coach's son, it's just a heady play. Unfortunately, for him, it's going to turn into a penalty, which Cherokee will have the option. They'll likely decline it here.
Maybe we can go in here, our officials for today. The umpire is Rich Tarachi. Our umpire is Pat Titus. Our linesman is Pete News. Line judge Sean Foster. Side judge Ken Sugars. Back judge is Kevin C. Bradley. And our clock operator is Bruce Davidson. The same group we had last week at West Deptford with an additional referee added.
And whistles blowing out on the field. And it looks like we're going to have another timeout, this time called by Cherokee, probably a personnel issue.
Yeah, 100% now. And what the ineligible receiver that you called so correctly, Rob, it was set up as a quarterback draw and wasn't going to go anywhere. And Skirbo, thinking very, very quickly, said, well, I can pass the ball down the field and it'll come back to the line of scrimmage. The only problem is your offensive linemen have already released downfield so they can block the linebackers and people at the next level. And they got caught in the penalty.
So Mark Kendrick, the coach of Lenape, you see there, graduated from Deptford High School in 1995. I know that you mentioned that you coached him. I'm certain I'm old now because now I'm doing football for the head coaches when they were players. So
isn't that amazing?
We just saw Tim Haggerty running up, who was a great player at Glassboro as well. So always fun to see some of the guys that we've called earlier giving back to the local players. And a fumble on the field. Kingsway unable to fall on it. There's a mad scramble. Kingsway had a tremendous opportunity there, and we do not have an official signal thus far, but I believe it's Cherokee that will come away with it.
Boy, talk about, there's our first big break of the day, because that ball could have easily been covered by Cherokee.
Ethan McCarron on the recovery.
Watch again, he comes up, he just looks like he took his eye off the ball for a minute. Oh man, it was right in the hands of Kingsway's number 1, and that would be Dennis Lee. But it just couldn't gather the control, and great field position for Cherokee. They have a short field, they're only 18 yards outside the red zone to start off.
First down carry right up the middle, a gain of about 1 or 2. So I don't know, got a praying mantis up here. You know, in high school football, you're always dealing with a couple different obstacles. Tonight it's the praying mantis, Fred.
I'm telling you, he looks scary enough to me, that's for sure.
Second and 8 now for the Chiefs.
And again, the handoff inside.
That's E.J. Bard. He's another sophomore for Cherokee. Both are running backs, being Jamar Damash and E.J. Bard are both sophomores, and they're both good specimens for being sophomores.
Third down. Low snap. Walter keeps on his feet. Big hit laid out, and he should have enough for the first down.
Now, we had a meeting of quarterbacks on that one. That was free safety Joel Scarborough coming up to meet Jack Walters, and they made head on. Watch, he really did a nice job of picking up that snap, set up a quarterback draw. Watch Scarborough come up right now. Boy, they met shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
Jack Walter last week accounted for 3 of their 4 touchdowns, 1 on the ground and 2 via the air. First down and 10. Walter again will hand off. Trying to go outside the tackles, bouncing off one tackler and finally brought down.
Now, if we get a chance, to see a replay, that was very well played by Dennis Lee, who Coach Hendricks talked about so well for leadership, but he just read the play, got outside. Watch how he gets outside quickly. You see where he is right now. Looked inside, gets outside, and just makes a sure tackle right on the outside. Good job, Mr. Dennis Lee. I give you a 10.
Little end around here, and well defended by Kingsway.
And once again on that situation, we had outstanding play there by Blake Tambone, outside linebacker for Kingsway. Here's that shot again. And we'll go back to live action.
McIntyre with a loss of 4. Third down and 9. Kingsway hustles to get personnel on. Walters flushed out of the pocket. He'll throw in and out of the hands of his intended receiver and almost picked off as well. So 4th down now, decision time for P.J. Megan.
And he does have a field goal kicker, but that was a flood pass into the sidelines. There were actually 3 receivers down. He was buying time. Kingsway's defenders stayed in their proper areas, and as you can see, even though the receiver looked like he was open, that ball was tipped and anything could have happened.
Tamir Bennett had an opportunity to catch that football. It'll bring up 4th down, and they're going. Walters with great protection across the middle, misses his intended receiver, and it will go over on downs.
So more good things to happen for Kingsway in that situation. They've been able to play good defense and slow down the vaunted offense of Cherokee. And now we'll see what they got. Watch again, Walters takes a step. We used to call this a Mexico pass, that the back was, or the receiver at this time was crossing the linebacker border and trying to get the pass. Just didn't make connections and a turnover on downs.
Well, both of these quarterbacks started off relatively hot, but Walters now 1 for his last 4. Skirbo 0 for his last 5. And Kingsway with the football. A defensive struggle thus far. 1:58 remaining first quarter. We're scoreless in Woolwich. Skirbo, again, the rocket screen, and he has a man and picks up a nice chunk as he finds his receiver, and that's Martin.
Cameron Martin out there, that little quick pass, part of the spread offense is to try to get that one-on-one matchup. You can see he comes out quickly. If he can beat past 97, which he did, you're going to gain yardage on the outside. So that was nice execution there by the Dragons.
4 for 9 on the night is Skirbo for 33 yards, and Kingsway happy to move the football and eat up some more clock. They'd like to have it be a short football game tonight. Second down, we'll call it 5. Again, the screen pass finds his man, and just not a whole lot there. Looks like he found number 8, that's Odom.
And that was Nick Moffa coming up on the tackle for Cherokee. Again, you can see the game plan being set up by Kingsway of that quick pass to the outside, try to get some of their athletes one-on-one with Cherokee athletes. If they can miss the tackle, then you can gain some positive yardage.
Skirbo looks to the sideline. He will have to get a playoff before the end of this first quarter. And he's going to work out of the shotgun here. Not a lot of success on the ground thus far for the Dragons. Handoff right up the gut. And again, nothing doing there. The Chiefs line holding strong. No gain on the carry.
And that pretty much set up. I think a lot of this game is going to be won up front. In the beginning, Kingsway was moving the ball on the running plays. Cherokee starts off with a 52 defense. They change defenses almost every play. And play a lot of 3-4 defense when it comes along the way. And I think that can cause some problems to some Kingsway offensive personnel.
And that'll do it for this first quarter here at Kingsway High School. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week is scoreless.
At the end of 1, and no score.
Beautiful shot here tonight from Kingsway High School. Whistles blowing. And again, not sure whether the officials were ready, or it looks like Cherokee's calling timeout again. So kind of interesting. 3 timeouts called already by the 2 coaches combined. 2 by Cherokee, 1 by Lenape. And, you know, one of the things that Cherokee has to know is that, as you mentioned, Kingsway's had trouble with their kicking game.
And wonders if they're going to set up, they didn't have the right return in, or if they're going to go for a block. Because as we're looking right now, a little change in here. It looks like Cherokee's only going to put Walters back. They're going to put 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to come after the punt.
So this, in fact, will be the first play. And the kick is away. Good rush. And Walters will let it bounce. And it'll be down at about the 40-yard line. So they'll spot it officially. It looks to be at the 41. First down and 10 for Cherokee. 11:50 remaining. Second quarter here from Woolwich Township. We got a great shot of the skyline from our camera crew. Just a beautiful night tonight, Freddie.
Yes, it is. A little kudos there to Kenny Kalin, the punter on that time, because it's got to be daunting to look up and see 10 people coming right after you in that situation. The snap was a little bit low. He picked it up off the ground and made a nice kick.
Always a well-attended game here at Kingsway High School. Tonight, no different. Cherokee, as they say, always travels well. First down and 10, low snap, and the pitch. And that is DeMonch.
And Joel Scarborough, once again, coming up on the tackle. Little piece of information, talking to Joel Scarborough's father, as you're watching here. Watch Scarborough come up and just take the ball carrier down low. He's going to go to High Point University next year, and he's going to play lacrosse. So that'll be a very, very interesting situation for him. Going to go away from football and go to men's lacrosse.
Loss of 2 yards, second down and 12. And they're going to run it right up the gut. Still pushing forward. Nice pickup and great second and third effort for Cherokee.
And for our young youth league people who are watching the game, the key to success for DeMonch on that one is he kept his legs going and just was going to refuse to go down. He just positive motion with his legs to get yardage.
Third down and 3. And big hit laid out, but not before picking up the first down. Cherokee's line able to get that big push.
And our first good look at Walters at that time being like a fullback in that situation. He just started to the outside on a run that was set to go off tackle. As you can see here, lowers his shoulders, actually ran into his own man there at that particular time. Ran into Bennett, but makes the first down.
Cherokee across midfield once again. Inside of 10:30 remaining in this first half. First down and 10 for the Chiefs, and you see Walter directing traffic. They'll reset, twins right. And again, the handoff right up the gut. Pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. And, you know, this is something that I anticipated seeing from Cherokee a little bit earlier.
And this is very traditional Cherokee football, which is just power football. We're tougher than you, so we're going to line up. We could even tell you where we're coming, and you're not going to be able to stop us.
Second down. Again, Walters, play action pass, has a man wide open and overthrows his intended target. That is his brother, Andrew Walters.
And that's what can happen very, very much in high school football when you pound the middle. Here's the fake, and you can see Walters throw. He's got his brother wide open and just sails it over his head.
You can see the defensive backs bit on the play action. And had he hooked up with Andrew, then Walters would have sauntered into the end zone. Third down now for the Chiefs. Again, play action. And this one's complete for the first down as Walters doesn't miss this time, hooking up with another one of his very talented receivers. That is Jackson McIntyre.
And that was very much set up by the good fake done inside. Walters faked to Dimash to make it look like it was going to be that power inside. It froze the linebackers and left them open.
Again, a handoff inside, maybe a gain of a yard or so. Dimash.
And we got a chance to see that time, very well defended that time by defensive end Tamarco Brown, who has a lot of quickness, and that can help him in his position.
Walters sets up the inside screen, and that looks like McIntyre on the reception.
It was, and again, excellent play calling, because after they saw how quickly DeMarco come, now you set the screen past him, and McIntyre makes the catch, and it's close to a first down.
It may have been Bassett. Third down and short for the Chiefs. Matt Walters is looking to perhaps audible here. He's got time. Cherokee in that spread. 4 receivers set. Quick drop. Walters flushed out of the pocket. Walters will keep. Walters, and he's banged out of bounds. And we're going to have a late penalty call here.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's hard to stop your aggression at that time. But they had Walters contained in the backfield. Kingsway defender just came through and drilled him on the sideline. Watch it right at the end. Good pressure there by Kingsway. Watch at the end of the play. Yep, it's at least like 2 or 3 steps out of bounds. You have to make the personal foul call.
A personal foul was the call against Kingsway.
So 2 penalties making a big factor early in the game. One giving Kingsway a first down, and here moving the ball down into the red zone.
That's the shot of the Cherokee Chiefs student section, not unlike our own Fred up here who is shirtless.
That's right.
First down and 10, Chiefs. And Walter carries the football, still on his feet, and bides his time, pushes forward, picks up about 7.
And again, very, very good to watch. Again, if you get a chance to watch this again, Walters did a great job of keeping his poise. He waited and waited and waited and looked for the opening before he lowered his shoulders and ran.
This is Walter again.
Boy, Rob, straight Cherokee football right now.
Yeah.
Just driving that ball, going right inside. Now, the thing they do differently this year is they play fast, so they line up really quickly. It forces you to line up quickly on defense.
First down and goal for Walters. Again, he's been the main cog in this drive. Looks to the sideline and directs traffic. You see him with Jamar DeMonch in the backfield. And Andrew Walters, his brother, now setting up just to his left. Plenty of time here for the Chiefs. Set up first down and goal. Again, Walters will hand off to DeMonch, and that's quite easy for number 1, Jamar DeMonch, and Cherokee strikes first, 6-0 Chiefs.
And excellent move inside by Cherokee. When all the moving went around, they suddenly took their one guard and moved him on the other side of the field so they went unbalanced. Kingsway moves, and Cherokee runs back to the weak side where nobody was there. Excellent job of play calling and setting up that play.
On to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and McCarron's kick is good.
So very, very nice drive, helped out tremendously by that late hit out of bounds that knocked the ball down. But typical Cherokee football, pound, pound, pound. Watch this again as they went back to the weak side. And DeMonch, next year will learn to break to the outside, but this time it was straight inside for a touchdown.
So DeMonch with the TD, unofficially 17 rushing yards on the evening. And Cherokee has shown the ability to both throw the football and run the football effectively, but something we talked about before is their offensive line is starting to generate a lot of opportunities for this offense.
And I will tell you, that is a very, very, very good statement, because Cherokee for years and years has always been a grind it out, tough it out, and whine and just tear you down. And hopefully that's not happening right now for Kingsway.
Karen will kick it away for the Chiefs. Kingsway looking to bounce back after their first 2 losses of the season against 2 very strong programs in Williamstown and Millville. And Cherokee takes a back seat to no one. The kick away from McCarron. It's a low line drive, and it's taken inside the 5-yard line, across the 15, angling, and finally slung down at about the 26-yard line. The return made by number 25, Amir Hobson. We've seen him run the ball. Just 5'7", the junior, listed at 150 pounds.
And definitely showed us some speed on that one. I think this is an important drive here coming for Kingsway. Not that they need to score or anything, but I think they need to get back and get some offensive momentum to feel good about themselves at that particular time. If they get a couple of first downs, eat some time away from the clock, they're going to keep this game well within their victory possibilities.
Skirbo and the Kingsway offense out on the field, and not a whole lot there.
Yeah, really slow developing play. But
that was Odom.
Yeah, that was Andrew Iamori, the number 69 in there, who broke through the line of scrimmage, does what you do well. If you don't see anything at that time, you break down, look for something coming back at you, or look for a trap. It was the ball carrier coming back, and he was able to make the tackle.
7 carries for 0 yards right now for the Kingsway offense. Again, Mark Hendricks made a point, said we need to run the football. This is not what he was hoping for. Skirbo has been successful throwing the football on plays just like that. He finds his man into the open flat and hooks up with number 8, Alex Odom, for a big first down.
And that was well done, and we see it again. Very, very good block there thrown by Kingsway's number 4 wide receiver at that time. Watch it set up here. Watch if we can see it out front. Look at the block outside, engaging the Cherokee defender, and then a great move by Odom and a nice little stiff arm at the end. That was pretty good ball plan right there by Kingsway.
Skirbo again with time. Now looks to run. Instead throws deep. Has a man open. And it's caught. It's caught.
But we have a flag down also.
Kevin Zahner on the catch. That's going to be pass interference against Cherokee. They'll decline that call. And Zahner wide open. Skirbo spots him downfield, hits him in stride, and Kingsway's on the move.
Well, any questions about Joe Skirbo throwing the ball down the field? Oh, yeah, absolutely. You saw it right there, the pass interference, but we just saw the arm of Joel Skirbo right there.
52-yard hookup for Skirbo. He's got an even 100 yards through the air tonight. First down and 10 Dragons.
Well, it's always famous that big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Skirbo just made one.
Skirbo, hands off, and again, absolutely nothing doing here for this Kingsway running game. A loss of a yard.
Yeah, no push on the line there. It was just running into what white jersey was going to make the tackle on that time.
Hobson has run the ball 3 times, -2, -1, and -1.
Now for the Dragons.
Second down and 11. Skirbo flushed out of the pocket, and he'll be dropped.
And he is going to be tackled for a loss.
Boy, Andrew Cardinale again getting through. There's just no push up front. They tried to outrun the action at that time, but Cardinale from his defensive tackle position was just the guy, or defensive end position, really was.
P.J. Megan talked about Cardinale, saying that he really is a key part of this Cherokee defense. Talked about his speed, his athleticism, well on display there. What else was on display in that shot? You see Skirbo urging on his offense here. Critical play. Third down and 16 at the 18. Skirbo rolls to his left, sets the throw, and he's going to be in trouble. Throws, and that falls incomplete. I don't know whether they're going to rule if he was down or not. They're talking about it.
I think the decision is we're going to have now it's going to be ruled incomplete, so there has to be a receiver in the area, and the pro rule has to go to the line of scrimmage, which that didn't. But it's going to set up a very, very difficult situation for Kingsway now. This is 4th and 16.
Well, this is right on the cusp of their.
Yeah, let's check. I thought he was going to be sacked right here. He just throws it up for grabs. So there has to be a receiver in the area. I guess they decided it was there.
They're going for it here on 4th down, just outside of the kicker's range. Skirbo back to pass, has some time, now flushed out of the pocket. Skirbo using his feet, still on his feet, angles towards the sideline. Skirbo drives forward, and Skirbo looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. It's going to be dependent upon the spot.
What individual effort by Joel Skirbo. Watching this, he has time to throw. There's no receivers in. Here comes backside pressure. He steps up like a quarterback should, now outruns the linebacker to the outside, keeps his legs going, puts his hand down, makes 2 moves. Boy, that's great football right there. That is just great football, and gets the first down.
Well, that is the biggest run of the night for Kingsway, 16-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
Boy, it's close. They're measuring it out, and they called a first down. Wow. That's pretty good. You need 16, you get 16.
Well, that's a big, big play for this Kingsway offense. And now again, it's going to be a fight in the trenches. We'll see whether Kingsway tries to run the ball in here. They've been unsuccessful on the ground, as we've mentioned. But Kingsway counterpunching this strong Cherokee team.
Now, the good thing about this is the defensive backs usually are man-to-man in here. We'll see if they throw the ball.
Skirbo keeps, Skirbo angles, Skirbo, touchdown.
Boy, really nice comeback drive. A lot of character shown by the Kingsway Dragons in that situation. You give up a touchdown to Cherokee, you're down 7-0. Thoughts of last week had come into your mind, you go right down the field and score. Kudos to you, number 12. Kudos to you, Kingsway.
So Kingsway with a critical extra point attempt. Sean Sandy, the senior kicker, his kick is up, and his kick is good. We're tied at 7 with 4:24 remaining in this first half. It's been a good one thus far.
Yeah, we got ourselves a football game. Watch Skirbo in here, follows up from Tamarco Brown, and sees the end zone, and he's just going to get there. If he has to dive for it, roll for it, whatever he does.
Give Cameron Martin some kudos as well. He sealed off the block to allow Skirbo to get in there. There you see the Dragon.
That's the best mascot I've seen ever.
He's a big dragon there, buddy. I might have to get to my car in a different direction.
We'll bring him up and he'll get rid of the praying mantis.
Yeah, this could have a battle.
That's for sure.
Like King Kong against Godzilla.
Well, the one thing that's always exciting about high school football is you don't play the game on paper, you play it on the field, and anything can possibly happen. We've seen that so far. A lot of good efforts here by Kingsway, and we know Cherokee isn't done, that's for sure.
Well, this will be a big drive for both teams. Cherokee to take the kickoff, 4:24 remaining. This is the first time we will see Sandy kicking off for the Dragons. Sandy, we saw him a few years back with a big field goal over Washington Township to win that football game, so he's no stranger to pressure.
Sean Sandy is the kicker. Back to receive for the Chiefs is number 8, Jackson McIntyre.
Sandy to kick it away. High kick taken at the 11-yard line. And pushing forward, it looked to be Devin Ibarando.
And I will tell you on that situation, Zachary Jones of Kingsway, good job of playing his lane. He stayed outside, so even when the runner attempted to go in and went back outside, he ran right into number 21, and that was what you're supposed to do on special teams.
Ball spotted at the 30, so it's first and 10 for the Chiefs.
First down and 10, Cherokee at their 30. Walters has a man, and he's slung down at the 40. That'll be very close to a first down.
Yeah, real quick again, that quick little pass to your slot back as you come inside. And it's almost impossible to stop as far as a sack, but you have to catch the ball. It was done, and great play.
They give him the first down, first and 10. Walters will hand it off, and this time not a whole lot there, maybe a yard or two at the very most, as the handoff goes to Bard.
Yeah, PJ doing a good job mixing up his plays now, running different backs, running the different sets, never running the same concept twice in a row.
We'll call it 2, second down and 8. Play action pass, quick screen, and again another first down here as Cherokee able to move the football. Andrew Walters taking the pitch and catch from his brother.
And you could see that once again where play is so dangerous, because if you make the first man miss, you're going to get a lot of yards.
And this time whistles blow. We may have a procedure call here, too many men. We got something going on.
Yeah, we even had a late flag come through.
So this is going to go against Cherokee. And, you know, you, as a former football coach, how unsettling is it for a defense when they can't ever really catch their breath and get set?
Yeah, it's very difficult. The situation, sometimes you want to give different looks and different stunts, and you can't do that against a fast-paced offense. You just have to use your basic line, and it's very difficult.
4 receivers set, trips right. Walters will go to his left, has his man, and it is ruled incomplete. So Walters, after completing 4 in a row, unable to hook up. Second down and 15.
And I think the piggyback on that is, as we see the incompletion pass, yep, that's a good call by the official. The fact that Cherokee sets up so fast, you got to react to it so fast. And that's something that's hard to replicate in practice.
Handoff right up the middle and right back to midfield, about a pickup of 3 yards. Kingsway has done a pretty good job stopping Elijah Bard and the rest of this Cherokee offense on the ground.
Watch it again. You can see Barge come right inside, but really met well. That was Kingsway's player number 66 on that play. Just really stepped down and did a great job. That's Jalen Shinklin.
Walters hit when he throws, but he still finds his man out in the open, and that is going to be more than enough for a first down, as Walters finds Walters.
Boy, and you talk about physical toughness right there. That was on the line. Watch Walters in here. Here comes the rush. Steps up, gets hit as he throws. Knew exactly where his brother was going to be. Great first down for Cherokee.
Ball spotted at the 32, 18 yards on the pass. And Walters will keep. Walters picks up about a yard.
Yeah, again, that was great play call because they went right back to the fake the ball inside. Figured that the linebackers would go outside, and Kingsway stayed home and made the play.
Gavin Watson favoring one leg. We know that Watson is a big part of this defense for Kingsway. He's on a full scholarship to Fordham after this season. Second down in motion for Cherokee. Walters with time. Throws down the middle, wide open, and that falls incomplete as once again Walters unable to find his brother.
And key again, Walters had tremendous amount of time. His brother found the opening, and Jack Walters just couldn't get the ball to him.
Now, we mentioned Watson. That would be a gigantic loss for this Kingsway defense. But getting back to that last play, how many times did those two run that very play in the backyard?
Oh, I'm sure that's been down to the barbecue pit and turn left. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm sure Walters is kicking himself right now for coming through. I think you said a lot about when you mentioned Gavin Watson going to Fordham. Apparently he had offers from a lot of really good academic schools. We'll see it again. Oh, I'll tell you what. After that play was completed, the quarterback really took a shot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But it shows also that this guy's does a heck of a job in the classroom. Because if he's getting offers from Bucknell and Fordham, and he can do it in the classroom as well as the football field. We'll get to see it again. Watch Walters stepping back in here. This first set could be the flare. It's not open. He looks, throws down the middle. He gets leveled. And the pass just out of the reach of Watson.
That's where the big brother says, listen, little brother, you got to catch that football.
Yeah.
And the little brother says, wait a second, I was wide open.
That's good. You better dive out for all that ball.
There you see Watson, a little frustrated. Watson listed at 6'2", and all of 250 pounds. Third down and 9 for the Chiefs. 4 receivers set. Maybe a little movement. They got away with an inside screen, and that'll be stopped. Maybe a pickup of 1, we'll call it.
Well read out there by Kingsway, and almost an interception on that flanker screen. Watch the play for Kingsway. Walters looking a good job of looking the other way, then delivers, and wow, that ball was thrown into like 3 red jerseys. He's lucky, A, it was caught, and B, it wasn't intercepted.
Fourth down now and 8. Clock continues to move, 1:20 remaining. Walters, he'll roll to his left. Looks, throws, man is wide open, has him. It'll be enough for a first down. That's a big, big play for this Chiefs offense. And a little soft on the coverage was Kingsway. Cherokee finding Ryan Bassett for the first down.
Yep, who knew exactly where the sticks were, and that's something good for each of the officials. He got down to where the first down was, made his cut so the quarterback could see he was open. Walters delivered the ball, and it's a first down for the Chiefs.
Walters has thrown the ball 16 times tonight, 81 yards via the air. He's looking over the defense now, and we're going to have a timeout called. We'll see. It's going to be Mark Hendricks and the Kingsway coaching staff who call timeout.
Here we get to see the last throw. Watch the receiver go right down. Walters rolls to the left, takes his time, lets the receiver make his break, knows where the sticks are, lowers his head, and gets out. It was well defended. It was just a great cutoff. The route, and Walters knew exactly when to throw the football.
You know, give Walters a lot of credit on that throw. He's going against the grain there, throwing to his left,
right,
away from his throwing arm, and still able to throw with a lot of velocity. And that was all the difference in that play being successful.
We can see now why PJ went to the spread, because he had young backs to start off with, but we're looking at a situation. Walters can do a lot of things. And when he's lined up here in the spread, he's got good vision in the field.
So just 67 seconds remaining in this first half. Cherokee knocking on the door. First down and 10. Ball spotted at the 22. Trips right, spread all the way to the deep right. is Tymeer Bennett for Walters. We'll see with time here whether they continue to go to the air or try to mix it up with one run. Jump pass, and Walters has his man, maybe 5 yards or so as he finds Bassett.
And a good secure tackle there made by number 15. That's Kareem Rutledge, a senior, who made sure for that tackle that didn't go any further.
2nd and 5. Again, Walters back to pass. A lot of time now. Walters finally flushed out of the pocket. He'll keep, angles towards the sideline, and he'll wisely stop the clock.
Yes, you're correct with a lot of time. Also, must be good secondary play there by Kingsway because there was nobody open. So Walters knowing exactly what he needed to get for yardage to get that first down and get a bounce. Watch the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds go.
First and 10.
Yeah,
First down and 11 now
about that?
for Cherokee with just 36 seconds remaining. Trips right for the Chiefs. Walters, quick drop, looks for the slant pattern, picked off. Fine catch made by Cherokee. Number 6, Kevin Zahner, who was the man on that big, long pass from Skirbo, able to pick off Walters here.
Just overthrew his receiver. That was a great catch because he not only caught the ball, he made sure that the ground didn't knock it out of his hands. And a real good job there done by Zahner. So I would not expect Mark Hendricks to do anything in here, but either just go to the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage, take a knee, and send it into the halftime.
Walters with his first interception on the night. He had 3 interceptions last week, and you gotta get a sense that Cherokee's probably feeling a little frustrated right now.
I would think so. They've had their way on going down the field, and then they either make a mistake or Kingsway rises to the occasion.
So Kingsway will look to see whether or not they have to snap the football one more time as we see the clock continue to wind down here. And they will not have to snap it again. So Kingsway and Cherokee in a tight one. We head to the half, knotted at 7. It's your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week here on the GCEN. Welcome back to Kingsway High School. After one half, Cherokee and Kingsway tied at 7. Let's take a look at the stats. And the one thing that sticks out right away is the 2 turnovers. Coach P.J. Megan said we have to cut down on turnovers. They've already had 2.
Yeah, that's for sure. If you look at it, the other standing point there is Kingsway with 11 yards on 11 attempts of rushing. But then you see 100 yards passing. You can see that's what they want. Big statistical advantages at the half, as we'll see on first downs to Cherokee, but all that matters is the scoreboard.
Cherokee and Kingsway tied at 7, about to begin this third quarter. It's going to be Sandy to kick it away to this outstanding special teams crew of Cherokee. And we're underway here in the second half, and the whistle blows already, so
we had a Kingsway dragging offsides by about 5 yards on that. A little energy to try to get down there.
Might as well get your money's worth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So they'll move that thing back 5 yards.
Not the way Mark Hendricks wanted to start the second half.
No, and I'm sure if you're going to watch, I had mentioned to a couple of the Cherokee coaches when I went up, I'm sure Coach Megan decided to challenge his Chiefs at halftime, and then we get into the football, and I think we're going to see a little power football coming up to start quarter number 3.
Well, as we say in the TV business, re-rack it.
There you go.
Tied at 7. Kingsway in a tight one with the Chiefs. Kingsway looking for their first win of the season. Cherokee looking to bounce back against a tough loss versus Timber Creek. And it looks like they're on sides this time, and unfortunately we're going to have another penalty as that's angled towards the out of bounds right at about the 23. So again, not auspicious beginnings here.
Yeah,
for
especially you're going to give up good field position because that ball. Well, they have an option. They can make them go back, and I think that's what they're going to do. You can get the ball at the 35-yard line, but it looks like they're going to force Kingsway back and make him kick it again from this time now.
Well, the third time's a charm, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's now back to the 30-yard line. So the deep guys for Cherokee standing at the 20. And it looks like we got a little change in the kicking. They're going to move over from the left side of the middle of the field to the right side by the right hash.
So we'll try for a third time here to open this second half. Sandy, the senior, to kick it away. All systems are go. Taken at the 20-yard line. Cherokee across the 30, finds a seam, brought down at about the 39-yard line. Cherokee will have good field position to start Cherokee's Devin Eberando on the return, first down and 10 Chiefs.
So always the first drive is very interesting to see what adjustments or changes have been made at halftime. Will the defense, Kingsway in this case, make a change in what was working for them? I probably think not. And we'll see, will Cherokee do anything to increase their chances of just moving up and down the field?
Walters to captain this offense once again in the second half. Sprints to his left, cuts back, and Walters just content to pick up 4 or 5 yards at a clip.
Yeah, and good vision, very good vision there by Walters. The play was designed to go outside. Kingsway did a good job of stopping that outside. He cut it right back, as you see. He's going to run outside, sees red shirts, cuts back against the grain, and is able to get positive yards.
Handoff, and not much doing there. Maybe a pickup of 1.
Nick Devine just with a great open field tackle there. Very sure and very steady.
Again, Cherokee in this spread hurry-up offense, and Walters thinking he drew someone off sides. They did not break the plane. Third down. I'm looking for Devin Watson. I do not see him out on the field for Kingsway. Handoff right up the gut, stopped at about the 48-yard line. That's a yard shy. That's the Monch once again.
Right, and a good stick coming up there out of the secondary by Kevin Zahner. Watch him come up, and boy, that's just head down, tail up, deliver the blow, and stops them. If they can stay on sides here now, it stops them from getting a first down and not the start that Cherokee wanted.
Well, I'm sure Kingsway alert to any fake here. Hendricks probably told him, make sure we're not jumping off sides. The punt is away. It's a good one. Well over the head of the return man. That's going to bounce and take a roll back to the 10-yard line. So a good punt, and Kingsway deep in their own end to start their first drive of the second half.
And you were right, Rob, because Cherokee did something which is called a snap down punt. They line up with their hands on their knees, and they usually snap the ball. This time they all went down into a 3-point stance, trying to bring Kingsway off. Good discipline by Kingsway. They stayed on sides, but a long way to go with the ball on the 9-yard line.
10:08 left. Kingsway's defense holds after the first drive by the Chiefs. 1st and 10, Dragons at their 9-yard line. And handoff, pickup of a couple. Every single yard tonight has been hard-earned, and there you see Devin Watson getting up slowly. So that's a good sign. He's in the football game.
Yeah, that is true. It looks like he's still a little bit ginger on that ankle, but if you watch again, it's just that straight play where they what we call wham block, where they bring the tackle around inside the guard, and unfortunately was not able to do anything on that situation.
So Hobson on the carry. He has rushed the football 4 times for a total of -2 yards. Skirbo directing the offense here. Again, 9:30 left for Kingsway. And the Dragons here in this third quarter on their opening drive of the half. Handoff, it's Hobson. He cuts it back. And open space, hard to come by.
Yeah, it was. At least it's positive gain, and it gives Skirbo a little bit of maneuverability back now for the third down play. A little bit of a cutback play as you'll get to see. And here, starts left, then cuts back right. But really not much effort. A lot of white jerseys waiting for you.
Well, the Kingsway coaching staff really likes the speed and athleticism of Hobson. It's on display here, as we saw, picking up a couple hard-earned yards. 3rd down and 6 for Skirbo and the offense. Skirbo, quick drop, throws, has his man, it's caught, and that'll be close to a first down from here. Looks just shy.
It does, and again, it's that timing pattern, and you have to get down to the sticks. It's going to be close, and it's going to be enough. First down for the Dragons.
Wow, that's a good spot. And Skirbo hooks up with the 6-yard completion. First down, Dragons.
And again, for Kingsway, it allows time to continue to move. I'm sure Mark Hendricks would love to see 7-7 heading into the fourth quarter and make it a 12-minute football game.
You can't help but be a fan of both of these quarterbacks. We talked about them in the open. Both of them very similar to one another. Gritty, smart. Skirbo hands off, and again, not a whole lot there.
Boy, just really drilled that time by number 77, Robert Lifshitz. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, they're steady, they're leaders, everything you want out of a person that's going to be in control of your offense. They're both seniors. That also speaks a lot about working up through the program.
2nd down and 8 now for Skirbo and the Dragons. Watson getting the call from Skirbo. Quick drop, Skirbo has a man on a slant pattern. And that looks like it's going to be enough for a first down. Zahner has been something special tonight.
He has been. For the first 3 games, he's been their go-to guy whenever they really needed something to happen. The key on this, if you watch, he runs a great route, breaks to the inside. Skirbo knows exactly when to deliver them. And he made a good adjustment because that ball was thrown behind him. Catch the ball and then goes forward. Doesn't try to take it to the outside and get as many yards as he can. He goes straight ahead, gets the first down.
That cutback allowed him to get the first down. And again, and it's caught. It is caught in and out of the hands of Odom and makes the circus catch for a first down.
How about that one? That's a highlight film for you. He had it in his hands and went up in the air and he re-grabbed it. We'll get to see it right here. Watch Odom right here. Ball's thrown high. It's up in the air. It tips off. Boy, it almost like caught it off his shoulder.
When things like that happen, you almost feel like it's your night.
That's for sure.
6:45 and counting. Kingsway is driving the football. Handoff, and one of their biggest gains on the ground all night. Hobson with a big chunk, and you get a sense that Kingsway's starting to pick up confidence.
Yeah, that's for sure. That was a good hard run. He got right to the hole, kept his legs going, and we'll get to see it again. Watch him. He takes a counter step, then comes straight back, and you can see him deliver as he goes straight through the line of scrimmage. Now, he got popped pretty well, but it was good yardage for Kingsway. Probably their best running play of the evening.
2nd down and 5. Skirbo. Hands off again, it's Hobson. No, it's Skirbo keeps. That was a great fake, and Skirbo has his man open. I tell you, fooled me up here, Fred. Tremendous
well, it did me
fake.
too. I thought sure it was going up the middle, and then Skirbo pulls it out. It's part of that zone read, and he knew exactly where Zahner was. Watch his great fake. I still thought he had it the second time around. A great catch by Zahner, who goes down and makes the play, and good drive. So even on the replay, I thought that Hobson had the ball.
Skirbo now 135 yards through the air. Looks to the sideline to get the signal from Hendricks and this Dragon coaching staff. Fumble. Skirbo able to recover. And they'll lose a couple.
Yeah, lucky to get that one back. A low snap went right to the feet of the quarterback. And sometimes when that happens, the quarterback is in such a hurry that he kicks the ball and it goes forward. Watch, goes down to his feet. Actually, it was kicked a little bit by the running back, Hobson, at the time. And they're really, really lucky to get that ball back.
Second down, clock continues to move. We approach 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Skirbo, 4 receivers set. Throws the screen pass, has Odom. Odom stiff arms and is pushed out of bounds to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 5.
And again, same type of thing that Kingsway did in the first half. Try to get one of their athletes the ball outside the end. Watch here. He just steps back. Quick pass that's done. Now it puts you one-on-one on the corner, and you're going to try to just get past him and get positive yards.
Well, last week we saw West Effort and Willingboro. Willingboro threw the football about as much as we've seen here in high school on the GCEN, and Kingsway and Cherokee have gone through there quite frequently. 18 attempts already here for Skirbo in this third quarter. Odom in motion, trips right, Skirbo flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep, runs forward, and Skirbo slung down after picking up about 3. He'll be well short of the first down.
But good sense in that situation. He felt the pocket collapsing and just stepped right up in the middle. You can see back in here, you can see the rush coming in from the outside. He feels the pressure, steps inside, and tries to gain as many yards as he can.
And it looks like Kingsway's going to go for it here.
Yeah, and Cherokee was thinking at that time that there should have been a hold. You could see the linebacker thought that somebody had grabbed his jersey.
This is a situation where maybe you take a page out of Cherokee's playbook and try to draw him off sides. 4th down and 5 at the 36-yard line. Skirbo throws, has his man, it's caught. Inside, turns towards the end zone. He's in, touchdown, Kevin Zahner. 36-yard hookup. Skirbo to Zahner, and Kingsway takes the lead.
How about that situation where Skirbo kept his poise in the back, Zahner makes the catch, causes the defender to miss, and runs into the end zone, and Kingsway jumps on top here in the second half.
Well, the defenseman really sold out, trying to stop him from getting the first down, and after that it was clear sailing for Zahner and the Dragons. Sandy on to attempt the point after. His kick is up, and his kick is good. And Kingsway has taken their first lead of the night. We'll take a look. Skirbo showing why he is just so clutch as a quarterback.
Yeah, watch again. Skirbo knows he's going to throw to Zahner the whole time, throws off his back foot, and you're right. The Cherokee defensive back wanted to stop that first down, missed, and that's that one-on-one situation, and into the end zone goes Zahner.
Well, again, what's not to like about Kevin Zahner? He's done it all tonight. Big receptions, 2 big receptions from his quarterback, and also, don't forget, a critical interception defensively.
That's really true. He's done everything that's been necessary. You can almost see the chemistry between Skirbo and Zahner, that they seem to know where each other is on the field, whether it be offense or defense. And boy, certainly an eye-opener right here, right now, with 3:57 left in the third quarter, isn't it? If you would have told me Kingsway was ahead 14-7, I don't know, I think Mark Hendricks would have bought me a adult beverage.
He may still do that.
That's maybe true.
Again, and speaking to PJ Megan before the game, he said we cannot turn the football over like we did against Timber Creek. And those 2 turnovers, have hurt them.
Well, there's still plenty of time to play, so let's see what happens.
Sandy's kick taken just inside the 10-yard line. Across the 25 with open room, down across the 50, and finally knocked out of bounds. A big return for Cherokee's number 20, Devin Eberando. He's been active tonight, and that will really give Cherokee the boost of confidence they sorely need.
And you're absolutely just what you need now. You feel a little down on yourself for giving up the lead. Watch it here. Good wall blocking up front. Makes the right cuts, 2 great cuts there. And down the field it goes. Good job by the two safeties that are back for Kingsway to prevent it from being a touchdown.
43-yard on the return. Jack Walters, your quarterback. First down and 10. Cherokee already in Kingsway territory. Walters rolls, a lot of room. He's going to keep, angles towards the sideline, and he'll go out of bounds before he is hit.
Yep, again, smart play there. Rolls to his opposite side, which we've seen him do most of the night. Nobody open, and took the positive gain, get out of bounds, and set him up for another play.
So a gain of 3 for Walters, second down, and he'll hand off again right up the gut, still driving forward.
Now again, talking that most of the Kingsway kids are going both ways, and Cherokee just plays one way. We'll have to see later on if fatigue becomes a factor.
Third down and 3 for the Chiefs. Walters will keep. He'll have enough for the first down as he falls forward, a pickup of about 4 yards. And the Chiefs will continue to move the football, and the clock will continue to move once they reset.
Again, Cherokee went unbalanced, and this time they run back to the unbalanced side. See a little nervousness on the side of the Cherokee sideline.
Walters with the football.
Right side.
And a nice pickup.
And that was
Call it 8.
That was a good situation there, because I think 90% of Kingsway thought the ball was going to the running back. So a good fake here. You can see out comes Walters.
He leads all rushers tonight with 49 yards. And now we have a penalty flag. We mentioned last week that Walters was busy, 8 for 17 and 99 yards through the air. He also had 44 yards on the ground. He has eclipsed both of those already this evening.
And again, like we talked, he's a guy that wants the football and he wants control of the football. And I think that's the only thing you can ask from a senior quarterback.
So after the 8-yard pickup from Walters, they'll move back 5 as a result of the penalty. It'll be a second down and 7 now. And it looks like Cherokee will bring on a couple new players, personnel change. Walters with twins both left and right. And I'll hand off inside. Looks like it's to Bard once again, so he'll pick up a few, but he'll be well shy of the first down.
Just looking at number 32, Blake Tambone, as he's sitting back in the middle linebacker spot trying to judge who's going to get the football, and he's the man that's going to protect all that inside run. You can see him stalking right back and forth and telling people where to line up.
Third down and 4 for the Chiefs. Walters, he'll keep. He's in trouble, but look at Walters turning positive yardage out of seemingly negative play. And again, these are the little things that make a champion.
You're absolutely right. That's being a senior. You've been through this before. You know exactly what you have to do.
Timeout Kingsway as they're going to go with their fourth down defense here. 4th down and 1. Walters will go over and discuss things with P.J. Megan. You mentioned that Mark Hendrick was one of the best, if not the best players you said you coached. What made him so great?
Well, here's the thing, and you'll probably get a kick out of this. I was always a control guy in the fact that I ran all the drills and I ran all the stretching, and I would never trust anybody else to run it because I didn't think anybody would run it the way I wanted it to be run. And one of the days of practice, I saw what Mark could do. I said, "Do you want to try to run the drills?" He said, "Yep," and he ran it better than me. But he was just a guy that constantly wanted to win, constantly wanted the best out of it, and people listened to him. That was always the key. So he tried to get me out of retirement to coach down at Rowan one year, and I almost did it. So.
4th down and 1, critical play, 1:28 left. Walters in motion right up the middle, and Walters falls forward. It's going to depend on the spot. This is going to be very close.
Yeah, it is. We always say in that position, you run your best back and your best play. So it's all going to be down to if it's a right foot mark or a left foot mark, and if all the links are in the chains.
Look at Skirbo over there in the lower right-hand corner. He's eyeing it up like it's a putt on the Masters 18th hole.
He was very close.
He's saying, listen, it's going to break left, or else he's saying we got the ball, one or the other.
That's for sure, and he's got that hand pointed out. So
it's kind of like the home run call where you're kind of wishing the ball stay fair. And let's take a look and see how this plays out.
We got a good picture.
Here's the
That's a first down.
And it is enough.
That's by half of a football. So Cherokee's drive will continue here.
First and 10 for the Chiefs.
And Jack Walters picks up a critical first down.
Well, like in all sports, they say games can be games of inches. That was certainly one right there.
First and 10, Walters keeps, looks to throw, flushed out of the pocket. He's in trouble now. He's going to throw it up for grabs, and that's going to fall well short of his intended man. Second down and 10.
And it might even have been tipped, but kind of lucky it probably would have been tipped because the coverage was really, really good on that. Just throw the ball away on that situation. You can see the time he had. And I was counting earlier when it was in slow motion, which I can't count. But just great pressure there by Devine. Steps back, and he'll learn someday if you're going to take that, throw it for the sidelines.
Devine, 6'3", 220 pounds. Walter, inside screen, finds his Andrew Walters. And pickup of about 4. Walters to Walters.
Yeah, and Gavin Watson, again, showing why he's so highly thought of, because he realized what was taking place came from his defensive line position to make the tackle on the wide receiver.
Third down and 6. Inside of a minute remaining. Walters will hand it off. A big pickup into the secondary, into the end zone, touchdown. Elijah Bard.
Just a great recovery drive there by Cherokee. They find themselves down in the football. They go right back down the field and score, and they're only an extra point away from a tie.
And Cherokee's student section alive once again.
And 31, Ethan Karen on to try to point after.
Karen on to attempt to point after. Karen's kick is up, and it's good. We're tied at 14.
So here we go. Like last week, we're going to head in, looks like, to quarter number 4, but this game's going to be tied. Here we get to see it again. Watch Bard as he breaks through now. Looks like almost like a goal line defense there by Kingsway, because there was no linebacker in sight. And as soon as Bard was able to break through the point of attack, he just could step right into the end zone.
Well, up until that point, Bard had carried the ball 5 times for 19 yards. That was a 21-yard touchdown run. He has 40 on the night. And the biggest rush from scrimmage thus far for Cherokee results in a touchdown.
Absolutely, and just what the Chiefs needed. So now we're going to see what happens, if Kingsway will still play open football, or will they play it a little more closer to the vest with the score tie, and we're going to have a 12-minute game.
McCarron will kick it away. Well, your Atlantic City Electric game of the week has been a good one thus far. Knotted at 14 as we head towards the close of this third quarter. McCarron's kick is taken inside the 5-yard line. Assessing the defense, and now Kingsway trying to find some open space. Not a whole lot there. We'll get back to about the 20-yard line. The return made by number 23, Infinite Harmon. So Kingsway will take over deep in their own end, and right now we have a Cherokee player who's shaken up.
A pretty good job there by Harmon at the beginning time. When he got the ball, he didn't go quickly. He sat back and let everything develop. He'll learn quicker at the end when you can't really dance on kickoff returns. You want to get to your head of steam, get as many positive yards as you can, and start your offense that way. But it's past the 20, so that's a good situation.
I notice, in taking a look at that picture, Watson still favoring his one leg. The player shaken up is number 6. That is Marcus Dawson. One game tonight that was played a little bit earlier, Fred, Millville in a squeaker over St. Augustine, 25-23. St. Augustine had not lost to a South Jersey team in quite some time.
Oh my God, I think it was close to, if not 3 years. So it's a
that's a big rivalry, those two schools.
Yeah, and last year St. Augustine stuck at 2 Millville and really put a number on them. So that meant something. When coming into this game, I thought there were 8 very, very good teams in South Jersey. Of course, those two were both in it, and it goes to show, even though St. Augustine lost, not a lot of difference.
Yep. You know, we'll take a look at Kingsway. They've got a tough schedule once again this season. As I mentioned, it's, you know, interesting to watch Kingsway evolve as a school. Way back when we had them years ago in the Group 2 championship game where they had just a classic game against Hamilton. My old broadcast partner, Sean Leary, and Stan Ritter, Darren Leary, all doing that game way back when, and to a Group 3 school, to a Group 4 school, and you know what, Fred, I never thought I would say a Group 5 school.
Yeah, that's for sure. But you brought back some bad memories, because that year there was Hamilton and Kingsway. If I remember exactly, if it was 94, we beat Kingsway and didn't get into the playoffs. We lost the first game of the year to Hamilton, then won 8 straight, didn't get in the playoffs, and Hamilton and Kingsway played for the title.
Skirbo has a man wide open in the flat, taken at the 25-yard line and finally tackled. But soft coverage there as Odom comes away with the catch. That will likely be the last play of this quarter. A gain of about 7 for Skirbo, who continues to be effective. He's up to 183 yards passing.
Well, here we go. Quarter number 4. You can see the 4 fingers up by Kingsway. Who will have the most stamina and who will get the breaks? We're going to find out real soon.
Tied at 14 on the GCEN. Welcome back to Kingsway High School. We are knotted at 14. First play, fourth quarter, a big run deep into the secondary. And we're going to have a penalty flag here, it looks to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, if it's thrown by the back judge, it looks like the running back might have gotten a head start on that before the play began. Now it's going to be a sideline warning. That's going to be against Cherokee. And I was wrong, because the back definitely did not get a head start. That's just a great, Hobson, that's just a great run right there.
Wow, 15 yards on top of it.
Yeah, and I forgot the deal on that. In college football, you get a warning before a penalty. In high school, there is a penalty of 15 yards on the first time that takes place. So that's a tough one right there for Cherokee.
So from deep in their own end already, Kingsway in Cherokee territory at the 41-yard line. Skirbo back to pass. Skirbo flushed out of the pocket. On his feet, Skirbo looks. We're going to have another penalty here, and Skirbo pushed towards the sideline, and it's going to be holding against Kingsway.
Yeah, unfortunately, when there's a lot of time involved, that sometimes to stop a person making a tackle, you hold them. So let's see if we can pick it up right here. I see what they're going to call the hold right there. It's on number 62.
Yep.
He held number 85 right there as the inside part of the run was going to be involved.
Sean Horner, the freshman. That play will come back. And again, it is a spot foul. So ball spotted at midfield. It's going to be first down and 19.
So the penalty giveth and it taketh away.
Indeed.
Real quickly.
Skirbo in trouble. Has a man wide open. That'll be enough for a first down and more. It's Zahner. Zahner taken down at the 22-yard line.
Wow, how about that? Again, that half roll to the left side. and plenty of time. Zahner gets open. Watch, he takes the run. He's going to draw. He rolls to the right side. There's nobody open. He makes a great move to get open, gives himself some time, spots Zahner. Ball is right on the money, and just a great tackle by Cherokee's number 23 in that particular point, and hung on to the reinforcements came there.
Skirbo now 211 yards through the air. First down and 10. He'll hand off to Hobson. Hobson bounces off a tackle. Hobson with that speed. First down for Hobson.
Wow, and again, great running, but trying to see if we have a flag on the play. And it's going to be another holding penalty against Kingsway. We'll see if we can catch them in here. Hobson goes into the line. There is nothing there. Does a great spin move to the outside.
Look how fast he is.
Boy, that is for sure. Yeah, I think we may have had a hold on Zahner on the outside.
Again, it's a spot foul, so a loss of 3, first and 13. Skirbo in trouble, slung down.
It's been wavering for that for the whole day, but Tymir Bennett just was going to make sure that Skirbo wasn't going to get outside him this time.
Now ball at the 30-yard line, so Kingsway headed in the wrong direction.
Tymir Bennett comes in, is unblocked, and just unloads there on Skirbo.
Second down and about 18. Clock continues to move, as you see, heading to 9.5 minutes. Skirbo with the blitz. Eludes one tackle, but cannot elude the next one and drop for another loss. And Kingsway looked like they were knocking on the door. Now they're headed in the wrong direction.
Boy, that's exactly what I was going to say, that from getting down almost inside the 10-yard line, now they're going backwards. Just straight blitz coming through. And
Hobson missed the pickup as he saw Ludwikowski come in, flushing Skirbo out and resulting in the loss of 4 yards. So third down and 23. And Fred, this is a choice where you can just dump something off and pick up what you can, or throw a jump ball in the end zone. If it's intercepted, it works as a punt.
Yep, I think that's 100% correct. I think you're going to try to get as many yards as you can to try to get Cherokee to go a longer distance.
And it looks like Cherokee may have jumped.
Well, it's either going to be that or it's going to be on number 70 for raising up in his stance. I hate to say this in a time, but
offsides, Chiefs.
Cherokee. How about that? I was going to say otherwise, if that penalty had gone against Kingsway, I almost would have said punt the ball.
It's only third down.
The 5-yard penalty, so the ball spotted down at the 29-yard
caught up in here
line.
right there.
So again, ball at the 29-yard line.
18, make it 3rd and 18. Coming up for the Dragons.
Third down, about 17 to go. Call it 18. Odom in motion. 4 receivers set for Skirbo. And again, another rush. Dumped off.
Right side, number 14, Cameron Martin.
It looks like 14 Cameron Martin with a sizable gain.
And that's exactly what they wanted, because they wanted to get enough yards so that this 4th down play gives them a shot at getting a first down. And now with 4th and 9, you can see in here, it's just, he steps up, just a little loft pass screen outside to Cameron Martin, and he just does a great job. That's a great tackle there by Cherokee.
Well, obviously a much more makeable first down now. It's 4th down and 8 for Skirbo. Again, he's thrown the football now 22 times on the evening, compiling 221 yards. A lot of time. Skirbo flushed out of the pocket now. He's in trouble. Skirbo still scrambling. Skirbo fakes the throw, and Skirbo still on his feet. Skirbo looks to throw, and he's slung down And that's a case where he just tried to do a little bit too much.
Yep, it was almost a highlight film play, but you're absolutely right, Rob. At that point, he ends up costing the team quite a few yards.
You know, Skirbo's been so good about just getting rid of the football, and this is the time when you really have to get rid of it and just throw it in the end zone. If touchdown, incomplete, or interception, this is the one thing you didn't want to have, a gigantic loss all the way back to the 38-yard line. And Cherokee, which looked to be pinned deep in their own end, now has very good field position. $7:15 left for Walters and the Chiefs. Walters pitches. DeMonch.
Number 1, Jamar DeManch.
You can almost see the Cherokee coaching staff at this point saying, this is our drive. We want to take the ball down the field, take 5 minutes to score, make it 21-14, and then force Kingsway to try to do the impossible.
Walters, a safe pass, has a man wide open. And that'll be more than enough for a first down. It looks like McIntyre for the gain of 14.
And once again, just solid offense. Just go with what you do best.
That's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Flags all over the place.
On the play. A false start is the goal.
Well, Walters has thrown the football 21 times. Skirbo has thrown the football 22 times. Very rarely, Fred, do we see a high school football game with the ball in the air. And on top of it, a relatively tight defensive battle.
And if you'd have told me a few years ago that Cherokee would be throwing all those number of passes, I would have never believed you.
First down at 15. Walters, quarterback draw. Walters on his feet, falls forward for a gain of about 6.
He is tackled on the play, number 12, Skirbo.
Blake Tramborn also there on the tackle. Of this Cherokee, this is exactly what you want in this situation. It's positive yards, eat up the clock.
2nd and 9. Walters, hands off. No, he keeps. Walters angling towards the outside, still on his feet, and he'll be close to a first down.
And getting closer and closer down the field goal range if it's necessary, because that clock keeps ticking. Great fake inside, fake the defensive end right out, and a missed tackle back in here allows Walters to get down the field and get the first down. The fake set it up.
1st and 10, Cherokee at the 31-yard line. Again, it's Walters right up the middle. And Walters with a pickup of about 7.
And I'm sure Jack Walters is telling the Cherokee sideline, give me the ball, I want the ball, I want to score.
Well, they're already in field goal position for McCarran. First down, big pickup. 2nd down now, handoff. DeMonch, he'll have enough for the first down. And Cherokee starting to exert their will. Looks like it's spotted maybe a hair shy of the first down, actually, so 3rd down and inches.
Well, we wondered if the 1 platoon versus 2 platoon would make a difference, and we'll have to see. Kingsway's going to be tested right here.
Walters keeps, and he'll have enough for the first down here. He'll pick up about 3. Walters with 74 yards on the ground unofficially on 17 carries.
Still plenty of time, 5 minutes left to go. So if you're Kingsway, you can still stop them. If you're Cherokee, you want more time off that clock.
And DeMonch looks like he may have lost one.
In the interior part of that defense for Kingsway with Nick Devine being in there and Gavin Watson being in there. Just played their hearts out all night.
Still continuing that harried pace is this Cherokee offense. Walters with a lot of time, and he'll dump it off to his man who was smoked in the open field. Big hit laid out there as DeMonch feels the breath of the Dragons.
Boy, A.J. Butler just waited for that ball. You could see DeMonch. DeMonch is calling for the ball. I'm open, I can score. Walters waits, sees everybody come to him and releases it. Boy, A.J. Butler lowers the boom.
3rd and 12.
Third down, Walters again. Now getting some pressure. Walters flushed out, still time, throws across the middle, and tipped, almost picked off. And decision time here as right on the edge of McCarron's range.
Boy, great,
as a kicker.
Yeah, great job by Zahner as we watch it here. Plenty of time for Walters. He waits. He sees his brother coming across, and it's just not there. Well, here we go. What you talked about before the game. How good is your range?
So ball will be spotted at the 28. McCarron with a 38-yard field goal here with 3:50 remaining. High snap, kick is up. The kick is good.
Oh my goodness, 38 yards, just cleared the crossbar, but what a kick by Ethan McCarron. McCarron, who kicked the winning extra point against Shawnee in game number 1 when Cherokee won 42-41, now gives the Chiefs the lead with a 38-yard field goal.
Please help us keep our stadium in neat and clean condition. Please drop any trash that is around you in the trash.
You see Coach Hendrick not pleased about something, and they're going to kind of regroup here. More than enough time to generate a drive. Sandy, maybe not as much range as McCarron, but also a very accurate kicker. And we've seen that Skirbo has been very effective. They'll be forced to, again, rely on his arm.
And again, you practice this in each of your practice sessions. What you need to do if you need a drive to score. You don't need a touchdown here. You only need a field goal, but a touchdown would sure win it. But you want to make sure you run your best plays, you use your best people, and you're resilient. Certain things aren't going to go well on this drive, and you can respond and come back to them. So it would start with a good kickoff return like Cherokee got the last time.
Number 31, Ethan McCarron.
So Ethan McCarron, right now your hero for the Chiefs. He'll kick it away, and Hobson has really been someone to watch. We'll see whether McCarron kicks it away from him. High kick taken back at the 1-yard line. It is Hobson. Hobson looks to cut it back inside. Hobson has space. Hobson falls forward. A fine return, and exactly what Kingsway needed here. 3:39 left, and they're going to need all of it to put together a drive.
Correct, and it's definitely nothing holding back right now. It's going to be 4-down offense. Watch Hobson, you were right. He's got great speed. He's got some vision. Makes a great cut here. And he gives exactly what Kingsway needs. Now here we go. Skirbo, can he get him in field goal position? Can he get him down the field to score? Let's see.
31 yards on the return by Hobson, and Skirbo hoping to engineer a winning drive here. 4 receivers set for the Dragons. They'll hand it off. It's fumbled. It's fumbled, and it looks like Cherokee has recovered the football.
The exchange between
Luckily, it looks like the Dragons have gotten it back.
That's one of those when you get to the bottom of the pile, it's exchanged hands 2 or 3 times.
I probably changed hands 2 or 3 times as well. Watch, just a great poke away. The ball looks like it's right underneath the Cherokee player. And I think Skirbo dove in and stole the ball from him.
Yep. Fine defensive play made by Cherokee's Tymier Bennett. And again, theoretically a conservative play call ends up in disaster. Barely avoided. 2nd down and 18. Skirbo throws. And that looks like it short hopped his intended man, Zahner. And all of a sudden, Kingsway's in trouble. 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and basically, Tymier Bennett has basically taken over this situation. Both ends are really coming in really hard on Skirbo. Kingsway, whether it's a little bit of fatigue or not, aren't able to slow these guys down at all. Skirbo has very little time to throw the football.
3rd down and 18. Kingsway likely will go for it on 4th down. Skirbo, back to pass, has a man, and again, it looks like it may have short-hopped his intended receiver.
And that's what it's going to be. And now you got a real difficult decision because you have your timeouts. I believe they have their timeouts remaining. But if Cherokee gets a 1st down, the game is over and you'll never get the ball back again. Let's watch it again. Skirbo with the time. Yeah, little bounce before it got to them. Very good call by the official. And Kingsway is going to punt here and then hope to use their timeouts and stop the Chiefs.
Good effort by Andre Butler. The punt is away, and it's going to be taken at the 49. I tell you, that's what gives coaches gray hairs, because if that ball comes loose, then all of a sudden things change. You're a little surprised that he actually fielded the punt, but a good job by Ludwikowski. Chiefs will take over in Kingsway territory. 2:50 left, and we'll likely see the ball on the ground quite a bit here at a rundown clock.
And you're right, Rob. If it had been me, I'd have been screaming at Ludwikowski. Let the ball hit, because don't take a chance of a fumble, and that's about the only way you would have been in trouble right here. 1 1st down without the timeouts in that situation could wrap it up here for Cherokee. We'll see if they keep it and just run DeMonch and run Walters.
It's been a highly entertaining football game. I'd be surprised if they even handed it to anybody. Give it to Walters and let him do his thing. And now a penalty flag. It's going to be a procedure against the Chiefs.
Now, there is a new rule in high school football this year that before penalties used to always start on the as soon as the ball was made ready to play. Now you have an option when it gets down, not now, but under 2 minutes, where it doesn't start until the ball snapped. That helps the team that's behind, that the offensive team doesn't take a needless penalty to make the clock run out.
Walters keeps, bullies his way forward for about 5, so 2nd down and 10, and quickly Hendrick and the Dragons call timeout.
And it looks like they're listening to exactly what you said, Rob, because there's no handoffs. It's going right to Walters, and he's going straight ahead. So now, if you're Kingsway, you have to continue to stop the run that comes up, take your timeouts, force a punt. You'll get the ball back if you can do that. A little over a minute left to go. And remember, in high school, the play clock is 25 seconds if there's no time clock that's being used. So that's what I'm sure Mark Hendricks and his group is saying right in here. Get that timeout as quick as you can, and then we'll be fine. Now, it's in a situation here now where if Cherokee gets a 1st down, the ball game's over.
See Coach Mark Hendrick, both of these coaches hope to win the Group 5 championship. Cherokee has won it twice. Group 5 came about the first year in 2012. They beat Eastern in 2013 and RV in 2014. Last year, Millville defeated Toms River North. And again, the handoff here, and a healthy pickup, and another timeout here.
And that's going to be the final timeout by Kingsway. So the scenario goes this: if Cherokee gets a 1st down, the game is over, because there will be no timeout available for Kingsway. So Coach Meegan is in this situation saying, kind of an interesting deal. If we don't get the 1st down here, we let the clock run down, and then we can run another one, and if we get the 1st down, it's over. So that'll be his scenario right here. If we get the 1st down, it doesn't matter. The game is then over, but they need, looks like 4 yards on 3rd and 4. It's also interesting that Cherokee has been a team that goes very, very quickly. And I think if they do not get the 1st down here, you'll see them go back and maybe even huddle.
Well, 3rd down and 4. Cherokee still in that spread. DeMonch getting instructions from Walters. And he's going to try to draw someone off sides. Now redirects his offense. They may be content to call a timeout here as he tried to draw the defense off sides. I like what P.J. Megan and Jack Walters did there. Again, very heady on the part of this Cherokee coaching staff, but also credit Kingsway as they maintain their discipline.
Yeah, boy, you hit that right on the money. Good old no-play call where you go up there, you try to do everything you can to draw them off sides, which would give you the first down, and then you make it. And then the worst-case scenario, when you see the back judge start to make the count, you call timeout. But congrats also to Kingsway for keeping the discipline.
We mentioned Hamilton earlier in a key loss to Kingsway in the South Jersey Championship game years back. Well, that's who Cherokee will take on next week. As you know, this West Jersey Football League has had a number of interesting matchups evolve, and next week things don't get easier for Kingsway as they will host Shawnee here in Woolwich Township. So again, you know, when you're playing Group 5 football, there is no such thing as an off week.
Boy, that's for sure. You hit that. Some people used to say it's like the Southeast Conference West.
3rd down and 4 Chiefs, and again, we'll see if they try to draw them off sides. Walters. Demonch resets, trips right. Walters keeps. And he falls forward, and it looks like he may be just shy of the first down. It'll depend on the spot. And you got a sense that given that it's so short, they'll probably go for it on 4th down, but they may have gotten it here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. They will go for it on 4th down. It looks like where the sticks are positioned, it's either going to be one link to the good or one link to the bad. See Coach Hendricks, and again, he knows an awful lot about defense, being the defensive coordinator, being at Rowan. And he also coached D-backs at James Madison, and of course at Lenape, and is
wow,
short.
Look at that. Well, Fred, you're off. That's 3 links right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you. All right, so here's what you do. Simple and easy. PJ going to go over, tell his kids, this is the ball game. If we get the 3 links of the football, the game's over, we win 17-14. Some coaches will say, what play do we want? I always said best back, best play. So I'm going to make you a bet that Mr. Walters is going to be running the ball straight ahead.
Walters unofficially with 83 yards on the night. He has run it almost as much as he has thrown it. He's going to sleep well tonight. 4th down. And I'm not sure he got it.
Well, if he did, he got it on 2nd effort because he was definitely stopped short. Now, it's interesting. Where they have the mark, it looks like it would be short.
I agree. Because it looked like his knee went down first and he still kind of drove forward. So Kingsway looks like they will take over here. And Walters pleading with the referees, but I think that was a fair spot.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it was definitely short of where the mark was the last time. So, hey, makes it exciting for us. 2 minutes and 1 second.
Interesting formation. I don't know what you would call that, Fred. Almost like a bunch formation with wide receivers, but just trying to, almost like electric football, where you'd line up as many guys and try to push the line.
That's a good analogy. I tell you, that's right on the money. It's like we can push you back and we can gain that inches. It didn't happen. Let's see what Skirbo can do.
Well, we got a nail biter here. Skirbo with time, throws, has his man, it's caught, and he will angle towards the sideline out of bounds, and it's his favorite receiver, Zahner.
And good thinking there by Zahner. Out of bounds. Kingsway is out of timeouts. They have nothing remain, and the only way that they're going to get that clock stopped is if they get 1st downs. Just a good job here. Great catch by Zahner, enough smarts to get right out of bounds, and that's a good play.
Skirbo now unofficially 227 yards throwing tonight. 2nd down and 4. Dragons at their own 45-yard line. Rocket screen finds his man. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet, cuts it back inside across midfield. That's a fine effort by Andre Butler, and that will be more than enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's again, good realization. You have no timeouts. You've drilled on this in practice all week. Line up right on the ball. The quarterback will make the calls from his mark. He'll do check on me. When he sees when Kingsway lines up, off he goes.
Remember, in high school football, the clock stops until they reset the yard markers. Skirbo on his feet, Skirbo across midfield, Skirbo now at the 40, angling towards the out of bounds, and Skirbo finally tackled, but again, you see that athleticism, you can see what he must be able to do out on the lacrosse field.
Well, that's for sure, and again, what I really liked about that situation is after he broke through and got the first down, he knew he had to get himself out of bounds, and he got it. Watch, the play's going to be a downfield pass. Skirbo feels the pressure, breaks back inside, makes the linebacker not be able to get there, and gets out of bounds as fast as he can.
Skirbo looks like he has hurt himself. He's down on one knee, and the referees are trying to decide either the spot or whether it was a late hit. From this angle, it looked like it was clean. He kind of got him. He ended up tackling him outside, but he made initial contact in bounds. But Skirbo looks like he is in extraordinary pain right now.
But knowing him, like I know he's like his dad in that situation. You're going to play through it. You're going to find a way to get this done. Now, it's interesting to see what the officials are talking about right here. We have a personal foul against Kingsway.
Wow. Hendricks is not pleased.
And that's an understatement. Well, when I got to see the replay at the end, one of the wide receivers from Kingsway unloaded on a Cherokee defender nowhere near the play. So I'm sure that's what they called. If you watch at the end, up on the top right-hand side, you'll see right here, a guy being leveled. Now, it's an interesting call, but they're going to call that unnecessary roughness and a 15-yard penalty that takes Kingsway right out of good position.
Did not see the perpetrator, but it was Ludwikowski who took the blow. First down and 13. Dragons in their own territory. Skirbo in trouble, finds a seam, Skirbo, and he finds his way out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Skirbo just so elusive.
Yeah, and he knows what to do once he gets through the line of scrimmage. Again, Kingsway with no timeouts. So that 125, you'll see here a blitz coming straight up, a safety blitz coming up there from Ludwikowski. And then he just breaks out of bounds, even extended the ball out a little bit on his left hand to get more yards.
You know, when you watch Skirbo, and just from, eagle's eye view, he doesn't look that fast, but he's obviously very quick. He blows by these defensive players time and time again. Skirbo, look at the move. Skirbo's going to have to throw this up. Skirbo buys time, throws, and he wisely throws it out of bounds. Incomplete.
He's got that little knack of knowing where he is and making moves to get the outside, because all Cherokee's doing is trying to rush from the outside so that Skirbo doesn't get outside of the pocket. And he proceeded to get it out of there. So, wow, here we go. Still live, minute 17.
Remember, Hendricks said that Skirbo is probably the best he's ever coached in terms of his headiness, his competitiveness, and we've seen it on display all evening long. 1:17 left here. Third down and 3 for Kingsway. Trips left for the Dragons, and that's where he's going. Skirbo buys time, on his feet, he'll have enough for the first down.
Well, that's the good news. He got enough for the first down, and really only 8 seconds came off the clock at that time.
And remember, they only need a field goal here to tie things.
So when you talked to Hendricks, did he tell you what his distance was?
About 30 yards for Sandy.
Okay.
So another fine run by Skirbo. First down and 10, 1:09 left, ball spotted at the 33-yard line, so they're going to have to gain about another 20 yards to get inside a field goal ring.
Right. That makes sense to me. We've already had one game decided this year when the tying field goal hit the upright. That was the Timber Creek Delsey game.
Skirbo in trouble, and he can't avoid the ongoing Chief attack. Clock continues to move. Hendrick urging everybody to reset. They got a wide receiver who's well downfield, who's not moving very well.
Yeah, that's going to cost at least 10 or 12 seconds right here. It was 1:01 when he was down. That's going to cost him almost 20 seconds.
Skirbo, again, still on his feet. He's going to run. Skirbo cuts it back inside. Skirbo tackled just shy of the first down. We're down to 30 seconds left. They're really going to have to hustle here.
Yeah, the clock is running. There's no timeouts left. They're going to have to run something very, very quickly. And then
third down and 3. Skirbo back to pass. Skirbo throws, has a man wide open, and it's caught. And that's the first down.
Well, here's the danger now. There's 12 seconds left. You have no timeouts. So you either got to take a shot at the end zone, or right now you're looking at about a 37-yard field goal to try to tie.
12.5 seconds left. And we'll see. No timeouts remaining. These plays are going to have to go to the sideline. And, you know, you're dealing with high school kids. I know Coach Hendrick wish he had one more timeout in his back pocket, but he had to burn them to stop the Chiefs from running out clock. He has to continue to remind them this play has to go out of bounds. Skirbo out of the shotgun. Trips right. Skirbo, and we got a penalty. That's going to hurt somebody. Well, timeout by Cherokee, and again, P.J. Megan wants to make sure that they get it right, and I think Coach Hendrick very pleased here because, again, he's going to reinforce that we have 12 seconds left. If the play stays in bounds, this football game's over.
They're going to put time back on the clock in here because the timeout was called. The situation here, if you're Hendricks, you got to call 2 plays in the huddle. If you get down there, or you got to tell the quarterback, if we get down and the ball's still in play, get up there as fast as you can and spike the ball. The problem is getting everybody set up in 10 seconds, so they went back to 12-5.
So right now the ball's at the 20. That would equate to a 37-yard field goal, which would almost mirror McCarron's effort. That's maybe just on the outskirts of the range of Sandy, but you're inclined to think that if they don't gain any yards here, they may roll the dice and still give Sandy the opportunity to tie this football game.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. What you're probably going to see Zahner go down maybe 7 yards, break for the sidelines, and just try to get out of bounds and get by him 7 yards.
Skirbo throws to the end zone. Jump ball! In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Cameron Martin. Outstanding defense there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you're right. That was up for grabs, and the game was going to be decided on what happened. Great defense back there for Cherokee. Chiefs number 23 or 33, maybe that was Ryan Burke in the situation there. But Cameron Martin had his hands on the football too, and they're going to go. Here we go. It's going to be the field goal.
Well, we mentioned before that Sandy has hit some big field goals, and Sandy's going to test his range here, a 37-yard field goal, and it appears that Cherokee will burn their last timeout.
Yeah, the good old ice the kicker timeout. Now Mark Hendricks will meet, and the discussion only will be this now. With 7.5 seconds left, do you do it again, make a shot for the end zone?
That was my question to you, Fred. The last one took 5 seconds off the clock.
Right.
Now, again, a lot of it is predicated on things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
Like the guy who runs the clock, right? So,
right.
But also, you know, whether or not there's a tip ball, that allows the clock to continue. Is there a clean snap? So, again, this is where, you know, do you want to be a bit of a Vegas gambler, or do you want to try to...
And I hate to tell you, I'd be the Vegas gambler and try to win the game. Because what I would think is, and you have to run like a fade towards the end zone, put the ball up, and it's going to be up for grabs. Somebody's going to make the play, somebody's not going to make the play. But it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to go with the offense back on the field.
Well, I love what Mark Hendricks doing here, Fred. I was about to agree with you. I would do the same thing. You got to like a guy who wants to play for the win. Here it is. Skirbo.
Skirbo back.
He's going to throw it up for grabs here. Skirbo
looking to the end
throws
zone.
the ball.
It is up.
It's up. It's caught and falls incomplete, and that'll do it here from Woolwich Township. It wouldn't have mattered. Zahner, had he caught it, still would have been shy of the end zone. What a tremendous football game here. Kingsway marches down the field, but just runs out of time. Cherokee victorious 17-14, and Kingsway, despite going 0-3, they've played themselves a heck of a football game tonight.
And you could tell on the sweep that went on the outside that Scarborough was looking for Zahner, being covered right there by Ryan Burke. The ball was going to be put up down into the end zone, and they were going to see who's going to win and who's going to lose. Today, Cherokee walks away. I'm sure Coach Meegan is feeling very, very good about the win and saying, oh my God, get me out of here. This was a great game tonight.
Well, Cherokee has played 3 games, each one a barn burner, defeating Shawnee in overtime. Last week, a tough one to Timber Creek. This time, another nail-biter against Kingsway. Coach P.J. Meegan has to start thinking, when do I get to exhale?
Yeah, I was going to say, every game that he's had has been a nervous game. It's a great win for Cherokee, but you know what? You got to really feel proud if you're a Dragon, because you took on a very, very good football team and you fought all the way down to the last play. So,
well, Kingsway, as we mentioned, next week will take on a very tough Hamilton team, and Shawnee team, where Cherokee will take on Hamilton. And Kingsway is going to have a tough time again next week against Shawnee. But all in all, I mean, you have to feel good about their opportunity to compete in this big South Jersey Group 5 conference, and they seem like they're starting to find their stride. We saw it last year where they started slowly. It seems like it's happening again this year.
Yeah, it's a really positive night for that, because you're playing good teams and you've risen to the occasion. I don't know whether I thought when we came into tonight's game it would be 17-14 with a pass being thrown in the end zone that could change the game, but Kingsway just showed a lot of intensity and a lot of will, and I just leave here very impressed with Joel Scarborough. He just is he's a winner. I think the best way we could say it is he's a winner.
Well, we had an instant classic here tonight. Cherokee victorious over Kingsway in a battle of 2 South Jersey Group 5 teams. Cherokee improves to 2-1. Kingsway falls to 0-3. Fantastic game tonight. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week on the GCN. Want to wish everybody a good night. Thanks for joining us. For my partner, Fred Swartz, my director, Stan Ritter, and all the crew, I'm Rob Chris. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week. Good night, everybody.